but it would not surprise me at all. I think and I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen it thus far. I don't think we're quite developed enough in it, but that we will start to see a narrative that says, these Bitcoiners and gold people are anti-American. They're ruining our perfectly good financial system, and therefore they need to report how much they hold.
Hey guys, welcome back to Everyday Finance. In this video, Larry Lepard discuss about Bitcoin and crypto. According to Larry Lepard, Bitcoin is the ideal platform for handling that. After all, it's similar to you. Larry Lepard wish you luck. How are you aware that Larry Lepard have it? Where is it? And how are you going to handle it? To be occupied, so yeah, but to respond to your inquiry, yes, Larry Lepard really worried about it. There is a general expectation that the government will act badly at this fourth turning, practically a certainty that they will attempt to discover out what's going on as things grow unpleasant, and they begin to lose their power countermoves to regain it when possible, because gold and Bitcoin enthusiasts are anti-American and are destroying a perfectly excellent financial system. They must declare their holdings and make payments on realized capital gains taxes. Thus, we must tax that portion as well, yes, populism may be there, with individuals claiming that the way wealth is divided to these folks is incredibly unfair, and that we believe they will argue that we are profiteers and that we are not smart enough to see that this is the best answer, but we are nonetheless going to place a bet on it. Need to take that away from you because, well, Larry wouldn't be surprised at all by that kind of thing, and lots of things Larry Lepard discuss, so please watch the video to end and share, subscribe our channel Everyday Finance. Thanks.
Guys that are running, guys and ladies who are running the system and I've seen how they've changed the rules to benefit themselves. And so, yeah, I completely worry about that. But what I take comfort in is that, 12 words and, a boating accident and there's a certain amount of self-sovereignty here that they're going to have a hard time getting around. And, I'll just leave it at that. It would not surprise me at all. I think, and I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen it thus far. I don't think we're quite developed enough in it, but that we will start to see a narrative that says, these Bitcoiners and gold people are anti-American. They're ruining our perfectly good financial system. And therefore, they need to report how much they hold, and therefore they need to pay unrealized capital gains taxes, and therefore we need to tax the shit out of it, and blah blah blah. And yeah, there could be some populism going on and saying, it's really unfair the way the wealth is distributed to these people, and we think we're smart and we looked ahead and we saw it was the right solution and we bet on it, but they're going to say, no, you guys are profiteers and we need to take that away from you. That kind of stuff would not surprise me at all. Fortunately, I think Bitcoin is actually the perfect spear to deal with that. I mean, it's kind of like, good luck. How do you know I have it? Where is it? How can you take it? It's they're going to have their hands full. So yeah, but to answer your question, yes, I'm very concerned about that. In fact, I widely expect that government is going to do a lot of very bad things through this fourth turning. I mean, it's almost a given. Because as things get nasty and they start to lose their power, they're going to try and figure out counter moves where they can get it back. I mean, it's slightly different because it's built on a slightly different issue. But I mean, look at France and look at a lot of areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Sadly, there are going to be social disturbances, and some of them are going to be large and meaningful. Hopefully there'll be political solutions that are peaceful that are available. I mean, I think. This is why I'm so excited about the RFK candidacy. I mean, I think here's a guy who kind of gets it on a lot of levels. Is not perfect, as no politician is, but I compare him to what's out there today, and I think, oh my God, this would be a really strong improvement. And look, there'll be more guys like him over time if he gets traction. And so, what we hope for is that we can, within the system, reform the system. That may or may not be possible. I mean, I'm not so naive as to think that it won't require an almost outright collapse of the monetary system to get to the real reform that we need, because sadly, the people running the show just don't have a clue, or to the degree that they do have a clue, they then draw the wrong conclusions, which are we got to kill this thing.
According to Larry Lepard, the system is broken, And Larry Lepard couldn't believe it more firmly, since you know that our friend Jeff Booth feels the same way. That's the reason we're suffering. And once the system is fixed, everything will significantly improve. What everyone needs to remain focused on is that you know that if you vote with your feet, you can purchase Bitcoin voting to improve the current system is what you're doing. And yes, Larry do mean that I grew up in the 1960s and 1970s. And as you may recall, it was a difficult time for the nation. A terrible war was raging, but you know at a larger middle class existed. Society was pleased by this. It wasn't the same kind of middle class of the wealthy class, who, you know, is pulling the strings in Washington, D.C., and so on. And you're aware that it was a kinder, nicer America, as far as Larry Lepard see it. Larry say, you know, Bitcoin, in my opinion, fixes it. You understand that it's that easy. You know, Larry Fink believed it was for him 3 years ago, but Larry Lepard, and I find it incredible that we're gaining converts transferring money. He claims that it's his greatest advantage right now. So Larry Lepard don't think he really cares about making the world a better place, improved location. But Larry Lepard believe he will launch an ETF since he can likely profit from it. Let's back to the Larry Lepard interview.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a Mad Max
No.
world. I mean, what we'd like to see is, I mean, this is a silent protest. They're not always silent, but this is a peaceful protest, and we're just saying, look, you guys are playing these fiat games. We're not going to play that anymore.
Right.
You know, and good luck funding all your wars, and good luck running your government with a huge deficit, and good luck getting people to buy your bonds.
Right.
And someday, you're all going to see that we're right, that holding sound money is a much better financial alternative than playing in your game. And as a result, the people who hold sound money will get positions of power, and they'll be very wealthy, and they'll be able to be elected to office. And I would think they would be much more benign and benevolent than the folks we have there now, who are basically grifters and criminals. And and which is not to say all Bitcoiners are perfect, because they're not. But I would take your average Bitcoiner over your average politician in DC any day of the week.
Sure.
Right? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I couldn't believe that more strongly. And as you know, our friend Jeff Booth feels the same way. I mean, the system's broken. That's why we're experiencing the pain. And when we fix the system, things are going to get so much better. And that's what everybody's got to keep their eye focused on. And if you vote with your feet, you buy Bitcoin, you're voting to fix the system. You're voting for this new system. And yes, I mean, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and it was a troubled country. There was a war going on, which is horrible. But at a greater level, society was flatter. There was a much bigger middle class. There wasn't, the kind of the billionaire class, pulling the strings in DC, et cetera. And, it was a kinder, gentler America, to my way of seeing it. And it wasn't perfect in any way, shape, or form. I don't think America's ever been perfect, but I think the founding documents and what they strive to achieve are close to perfect. And so I think there's a good chance that when this whole thing breaks, that what I call the remnant, which are the people who remember the old part of America and just the generally good human beings that live in this country, are going to step up and say, we're reforming it. And so, and it is going to be a much better place, all around, and the world's going to be a much better place. I mean, if you look at it, still, I mean, even the most average person in America still lives better than the richest person 300 or 400 years ago. And so, the world is making progress and will continue to make progress, and things will economically continue to get better and better for more people. So I'm extremely optimistic on humans and the human race and our lives and how they're all going to look. I'm rather pessimistic on the short-term outlook for the people who are in power, because they've run this broken system all the way to the end. There's no more road to kick the can down anymore, and we need to find a new road. And so the fun, and as you know from my byline, is fix the money, fix the world. And I think it's at the core of all of it. You have a dishonest monetary system, then it leads to all kinds of, everything stems from that. So if we fix this monetary system, we're going to have a much better world, and our kids and grandkids are going to enjoy that. And I think they're going to appreciate the fact that some of us actually took the time to give a shit and work on trying to fix the monetary system. And so to me, that's kind of why I'm in this thing, why I make as much noise as I make. And I make a lot of noise, as you know. So
well, it's because you care. It
is because I care. I mean, I see, I mean, I feel like, I've been an investor. I've been aware of the monetary deficits of this country for 30 years. And it's kind of like, now's my time to point it out. And I feel like it'd be wrong if I just sat silent and didn't try to push things in the right direction here. So, and I think everybody who's aware of what the problem is and who looks at America and says, this isn't what I signed up for, then they should start down the rabbit hole of understanding why it's broken and how to fix it. And I think Bitcoin fixes it. It's that simple. And I mean, and I find it amazing because we're getting converts, right? I mean, Larry Fink, I mean, what, 3 years ago, he thought it was for money transferring. I mean, now he's like, it's the greatest asset now. Now, in his case, I don't think he really cares about making the world a better place, but I think he probably sees that he can make some money off it.
Larry Lepard genuinely believed that Bitcoin Gold would have sniffed it and gone off, starting to run hard. And then suddenly, we'll have seen a 3% inflation print this month. They'll say, oh, we're good. You know we're good. And, if it's approaching 2%, that's how close 3% is to 2, everyone will realize that the money printing will resume and, it will happen to everyone. And is that the one that, probably causes the dollar to collapse and hyper-Bitcoinization? There may still be a few swings there, but we're getting there. If you learned something from this video, then please like this video and subscribe our channel Everyday Finance, and we will meet in next video. Thanks.